Hey guys, this is Diego. I just wanted to end with just a small overview of projects. I realize that it's hard to just kind of throw out everything that's been done. Um, I've brought up a few links, but the truth is and I'll include every single one of them, and we can go over them. But the nice thing, I've had the opportunity, I said, for over a year to be responsible for the design direction and the UI development for simple small features to projects that features that take a sprint, maybe two, to other projects that take 4 to 5 months, something more in the middle, and larger ones that have been ongoing for over a year now. And so these projects have been for AMR or for their parent company Envision Healthcare or their sister company. uh, some have just been, my contributions have been just as a design, right? Here's just a simple little single purpose app that allows a user to log in, and here's the high fidelity mock-up of the design which was eventually developed and brought into production. But a user logs in and sees their certifications. EMTs and paramedics have to make sure that their certifications are current. If they're expired, they are kicked out of the system. They can't practice and work legally. And this just was allowing the users and these technicians to be able to upload, take an image with their phones, and submit their updated certificates. Well, features like that were then carried on to, for example, here's the main meds app, and all of the gray area is new, right? The goal is here's an app that is using Ember 1. I believe it's like 1.4, which we're currently in Ember, almost Ember 3 is here. So the UI hadn't been touched for about 2 years, and the goal was just to add the ability to upload certificates, right? To see their certificates and upload a new image from the laptops that they have and take an image as well from there. But, this feature also was improved upon to include alerts, messages from admins, uh, notifications that would capture the attention and that can be dismissed only if they were viewed or confirmed. Uh, Here's a larger app. This is kind of more in the middle. Took maybe about 4 months, 4 to 5 months to get to. Prototype that just fit the needs of it. Um, these are this is software that doesn't exist, that had to be developed customly, um, and features that allow users to edit records and simple CRUD functions that are necessary. Um, Anyways, there's quite a few here. That's, I guess, kind of what I want to end with then is essentially maybe things that I've noticed just recently, putting this together and thinking of kind of what my contribution has been here at AMR. And the first thing I wanted to say is that I really try my best, and I feel that I've delivered quality work, not only here but in the past. Um, when I was going through some of my old projects, to give you an example, here is my GitHub profile. These are all public repositories, and here's one from 2015, which is this a prototype that I used or I built on a Ruby framework called Jekyll. And here you can see this is hosted on GitHub using their GitHub pages. But this exact layout, design, these ideas here that I developed almost 3 years ago, right, are still being used today. This is their actual site, and not a lot has changed. The company has grown. They expanded globally to a few other countries, but the components, the search functions, the menus, um, all of the layouts for categories and filtering, um, all of those things were built 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. The responsiveness, right? All of these things that were things that I created a long time ago. When you think about development, and I don't know, or I don't speak to, I don't know how much they generate now, but I can only assume that if the design wasn't continually, increasing revenue, uh, they they would have, scrapped this design a long time ago and tried to create another design that would create, conversions and so forth. But even 3 years later, this one is still, it's still up. I can only imagine, because they're growing. It's fulfilling its purpose. The other thing too is what I've noticed. I've kind of going back into these UAT links here, and this project I haven't touched in probably 10 months, um, and there's been quite a bit of changes, made to it. But the reason why is that how I code. Um, and you can feel free to look at my source code for how I've been doing this, uh, you know, over 2 years ago. But I develop in a very modular fashion, right? Here's an example of the current project that we're on. And I think it's best to just show you the main, styles app. So everything from variables, it's all easily segmented. I've created modules for everything from cards, drop downs, every component that we see in these apps. Well, doing so then you know allows developers to almost take it like a grocery list when they're going through and working on new features without having to have any design, I guess, advanced CSS or layout kind of UI skills. Can easily go and this little take working on a new page and say, hey, I need a filter. They can take a filter and throw it in. Um, I need a modal. Uh, all these little components here. I need to use a modal. I need to, you know, basically reusable patterns and designs that are done. Um, I wish I could show more of it. This one especially. This app, I believe the API is giving me some errors here, but yeah, it looks like the API is down, and so um, I would like to show you and explain a little bit more of more of what I mean. And unfortunately, I couldn't show the main current project that we're on that has landed a partnership with Lyft and has created a few, you know, given attention here. But I'm looking forward to meeting you all and answering any questions that you have. And I just want to thank you for the time. See you. Thank